Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk about what you should not do when pulled over by the cops. So let me give you some backstory before we get straight into the video. In Nashville, Tennessee, Metro Police released a body cam and dash cam footage of a deadly shootout Friday morning involving a Metro police officer and a woman. Just after 9:30 a.m., field training officer Josh Baker from the East Precinct was patrolling in the area of Brick Church Pike near the intersection of Ewing Drive when he spotted a black 2015 Chevrolet Camaro. Officer Baker was aware that the registered owner of the Camaro was convicted felon Demond Buchanan. He had 6 outstanding drug warrants charging 5 felonies and 1 misdemeanor that were issued last month for possession of heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, ecstasy, Xanax, and crack cocaine. So this guy is basically a drug dealer because I don't know which private citizen is going to have that variety of drugs on them. Officer Baker radioed to check on the airborne status of a police helicopter, believing that the driver of the Camaro might try to flee. The Camaro stopped in the parking lot of a Dollar General store. Officer Baker found that it was not being driven by the drug felon Mr. Demond, but it was being driven by Nika Holbert. While Holbert essentially complied with Officer Baker's directions for the first few minutes of their interaction, her compliance changed after the officer found what appeared to be marijuana and a powdery substance in her bag and attempted to detain her while waiting for backup officers. So we're going to get into the video right now, but before we do, I want to let you know that this video is of someone getting shot. So if you're squeamish about this type of stuff, please fast forward. Let's go straight into the video.
Just bring your bag out here. Ma'am, stop going through it. Come step right back here.
So the officer pulled over and tell her to exit the vehicle. And when she did that, she was shuffling in her bag. And so he tell her, stop going to the vehicle because he's thinking maybe she's taking something out of her bag. And more than likely, that's exactly what was happening.
What did you take out of it?
Nothing.
Okay. All right, listen. Just come back here. I think we're getting off on...
So look at this lady's demeanor, right? She's pretending she's innocent. And you would see very soon that she's definitely not an innocent person. But just check out her demeanor.
We're getting off on the wrong foot, okay?
Because I'm really confused on why I'm getting
He's got several warrants.
Okay, that has nothing to do with me.
You don't know who's in the car.
No.
Well, yeah, it does have something to do with her because if she's driving a car that's registered to a felon who has warrants out, then yeah, it has something to do with you because you're driving his car, right? So the officer pulled over thinking it's the guy, it's not him. So you want to out the car so you can check the vehicle to see if the guy's in there. And while he's doing that, he realized that she has drugs and all that on her, and then it moves forward. So let's check it out.
Nobody's in our car.
Well, now I know that. However, now I'm going to address the other problems.
Okay, so you want my bag and all my belongings.
So just step right back here.
Can I use the restroom?
And let you know it's being audio and video recorded,
That's
just to let you know.
Okay.
23, if you did have one more, that would be...
So at this moment, the officer is asking for backup. So he said, 23, if you have one more, one more officer to come and back him up, which is good policy. You know, it's best to have at least 2 officers when you're involved in something like this.
10-4, dispatch any unit near Ewing Drive and Brick Church, Ewing Drive and Brick Church.
Can we step back here?
21 to 23, do you need me code 3?
Negative, just code 2. So it's just in here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was there...
Well, I'm about 5 minutes from you.
Is this...
So the officer is checking her bag now, and he finds marijuana, and then he finds some white powdery substance.
Hey, Mom, I need you to come to Out for Trinity Lane right there with Sicko in the Dollar Funeral.
23 to
I
25.
just got pulled over because the my name is on the car. And he wanted to know if he was gonna call me, but he's not gonna call me. But I do got weed.
Hey, are you available?
I brought here in the Dollar Funeral. And
They send me in a couple minutes.
Got what is it? I'm for
Brick Church
Brick Church.
and Ewing.
So Nika is calling her mother, her biological mother, to come because she knows that she more than likely is going to get arrested because of the drugs found in her purse.
Ewing.
Can I have you starting around? You're about 4 minutes away. Disregard,
I'm
actually.
gonna put this in
Disregard
my-
on that.
In-
I like
Yeah, I'm not done with that though. Where's your lighter at?
in the car.
13,
I'll
it
get
says
it
you're
for you in a
about
second.
7 minutes away.
I'll get it
Correction
for you
on
in a
that.
second, okay?
So Ewing Drive
Oh,
and Brick
right there
Church
in your
and the dollar.
So you see, she asked if she can get her lighter. He said, no, I'll get it for you in a second. And she totally ignores him and goes and opens the door to go back in the car again.
Right there in your
And the Dollar General. Can I have you start process 23?
You scaring me.
Thank you.
What's disrespectful is that the officer pulled her over and now she decides to smoke a cigarette. Like, you can't wait until everything is done to smoke a cigarette? While she's smoking a cigarette, the secondhand smoke is blowing directly into the officer's face. Check it out.
Here, do me a favor, Sherman.
No, hold
Turn
on.
around.
Don't put me in handcuffs. I haven't done anything wrong.
Ma'am,
No, don't put me
you're about to get tased.
Now, stuff is about to hit the fan right now. So this lady doesn't want to get arrested. And this is her big mistake. Because the officer decides that because of the drugs she have on her, he's going to arrest her, right? What she should have done, just turn around, go into handcuffs, go to the precinct, get a lawyer, and go to court and plead a case, and that's it. Whether she was right or wrong, in this case she is wrong, that's the way to go. But running from the cops, as what she's doing now, it's a big, big no-no. And you're going to see it's going to get even worse right now.
Get tased. Get down. Get down on the ground. Down on the ground.
So the officer pull out the taser, which is, I commend the officer because most officers would pull out their gun. So he pulls out the taser because she's running from him when he's giving her instructions to stop. She's not listening. Check it out. She attempts to get back in her car. I mean, I don't know if this lady's on drugs or this is just unbelievable. Like, who jumps in the car and try to get away from the cops? Like, they're going to catch you eventually and it's going to be even worse. The charges are going to be worse. So I don't get it. But let's check it out. So the officer is tasing her because she's about to flee. So he's trying to get the situation under control, tase her to get her arrested and get the situation under control.
I didn't do nothing.
Step out. Ma'am, put the gun down.
I didn't do nothing.
Put the gun down. 20.
So while he stays in her, she pulls out a gun. So remember when she went in the vehicle in the beginning and she was perusing through her purse? She's more than likely taking that gun out of the purse. And now she gets back into the car. The officer tased her because he's trying to arrest her. She pulls out a gun. When she pulls out the gun, the officer instructs her, please put down the gun. and she shoots at the officer. She shoots first, and she hits him, and it goes under his it hits him in the torso, and then he returned fire.
23 shots fired! Shots fired!
10-4, 13, keep at that code 3.
I'm hit. Ah!
So this is just another angle.
Step out. Bam! Put the gun down! Put the gun down! 23 shots fired! Shots fired!
10-4, 13, keep at that code 3.
I'm hit. Ah!
That's it for the footage. So she speds off. She throws her gun outside of the car. The officer told headquarters that he's hit. A couple blocks later, she crashes the car. Police got there, rendered aid, took her to the hospital, and she died. So Nika Holbert died because the officer returned fire and she got hit by his bullets. She shot at him first, and most officers would probably shoot at her first because once they see a gun, they're gonna start shooting. This guy actually saw the gun and still told her to put the gun down. Then she shot at him before he even shot. So this officer exhibit extreme restraint, and I really have to applaud him because I thought the stop was really textbook. First of all, he had reasonable suspicion to pull her over. She was driving a felon's car. Justifiable that he was going to arrest her because she had drugs on her. And this lady just did everything wrong. Totally not listening to instructions. This was just textbook what not to do. Now, I've been pulled over by the cops many times. And my first response is, good morning or good afternoon, officer. I just follow the directions. If they ask me for my license, I ask the officer, can I reach into my pants pocket to get my license? The officer, yes. I reach into my pants pocket. I take out my license. I hand it to them. So, and most of the officers I've encountered were white, and I'm a black man. And yeah, I'm totally scared of getting pulled over by the cops, especially white cops, because a lot of black men have been killed for no reason. Some of them have been justified, just like how this shooting was definitely justified. There were situations where it was definitely justified where black people have gotten shot by the cops because of this type of behavior, no respect and not following instructions. But you should always follow instructions of the cops, whether you're right or whether you're wrong. I've been pulled over where I didn't do anything wrong. I've been pulled over where I was speeding. The cops pulled me over, and I already know why I got pulled over. And I didn't ask the officer, like, why you pulling me over, or trying to pretend I'm innocent or anything like that. I've also been pulled over where I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't speeding, wasn't going over the speed limit. I didn't have any broken tail light. I didn't have any tints on my car, and I was still pulled over. And I remember that time when I was pulled over, I asked the officer, like, why am I being pulled over? Because that was a reasonable question, because I wasn't doing anything wrong. The officer told me he's going to ask the questions. So I'm just like, I'm beneath him then. You know, I can't ask a simple question. I can't ask a simple, reasonable question. Did I start cursing at the officer, or did I become unruly? No, I just remained quiet and I just follow his instructions. And the officer in that situation was definitely wrong, but two wrongs don't make a right. So I can't, I gotta wait till I get my day in court, and then I could tell the judge, hey, I got pulled over for no reason. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't have any drugs or anything on me. So when the officers pull you over, they're the ones in charge. They don't want to have the guns, and whether you have a gun or not, officer still trumps you because he's the law. And whether you're right or wrong, you just need to calm down. This lady, Nika Holbert, totally wrong way to deal with the cops. Officer Josh Baker, excellent textbook. I mean, this guy, amazing. I can't say anything more good about this. So what we're going to do next is let's check out the comment by the mother. And this is actually not her biological mother. So this is her aunt that raised her. Okay? So we're going to check that out. So they said the mother of a woman filmed being fatally shot by a police officer after she shot him has conceded her late loved one was in the wrong. Lisa Holbert spoke, but Lisa questioned whether Baker could have handled a stop, which saw him kill Nika after she shot him first, with better control. Lisa, who also works as a corrections officer in Tennessee, says, I'm not saying Nicole was right. And she said Nicole was wrong totally. She had no business in that situation, but this is the life she chose, and nobody could do anything about that until she decided to change. Nika's life has been spiraling out of control ever since her mother said ever since high school. So I guess she's into drugs and, not following the law and all that. She's just that type of person. She's saying, she wished the officer could have handled it a little better, but I didn't see the officer could have done anything differently. She said, now, when I look at the video, there is no opportunity for change. It's over. I just wasn't prepared to watch her die on TV. Lisa, who is Nika's biological aunt, but adopted her when she was 8, added, why was she out of the car? It's like he let her do what she wanted to do. So she was out of the car because she wanted to search the vehicle to make sure the suspect wasn't in the vehicle. That's for one. And he didn't let her do what she wanted to do. Every time he told her to stand there, she kept moving. Every time she would go back in the car. So she's the one that wasn't following instructions. And he was just trying to do his job the best way he can. Baker also faces questions over whether he had probable cause to search Nika's bag. Although Nashville police have backed him and say he attempted to follow de-escalation procedures correctly. Yeah, he really did try his best. The injured cop had surgery for his bullet wound and is set to make a full recovery. Yeah, so he went to the hospital and he's released from the hospital, but getting shot by a gun, that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. It's a tough job being a cop when you have to pull over criminals and you have to kind of walk a tightrope, not trampling people's rights at the same time trying to stay alive. Let's check out a couple of comments down here. So someone said, I feel for Lisa, which is the girl's aunt, having adopted these children only to find 2 of them were so badly damaged. I don't buy all of that. Having a tough childhood and you turn into a criminal. We're in America. There's just too many opportunities for us to succeed, no matter what color you are. So if you grew up in a tough situation and her aunt adopted her and gave her a better life, she went to high school, she could have done good in high school and have a better life instead of turning into a criminal. So I don't buy that. I know some people have it really tough, but that's no excuse to go out there and shoot at people and kill people and rape people, and there's no excuse. Too many opportunities here in America. If you're telling me some other country where it is, you don't have no way out, and there are some countries like that where, you're born into poverty and everything is stacked against you. The only way to survive is to get into crime. But not in America. No excuse for that here. Somebody said, yes, she didn't need to be Sherlock Holmes to reach that conclusion. Frankly, Nicole was a daft. Driving a car belonging to a wanted man, carrying drugs, using a gun on a policeman. 3 very silly mistakes. Yes, she's right. Driving a car for a wanted man, carrying drugs, and trying to shoot a policeman. Shooting a policeman, not even trying. So, yeah. Someone said, I feel sorry for Lisa. Nicole was moronic to shoot at the cop. Though now she's dead, her mother is devastated. At least she doesn't defend her actions. Yeah, well, I think she doesn't defend her actions because she's not her biological mother. Because if you look at many, many cases, you would see that the biological mother of criminals seem to always defend them. Always. There's always a reason why the person got killed. The person have a long rap sheet, right? Let's say the person have a long rap sheet and the mother disregards all of that and all they see is the person get killed by the cops. So someone else said, no doubt someone will want to protest the killing of an innocent person by the police here. This lady was definitely not innocent. And yeah, people will try to protest. And we're going to read some more comments just now about that. So another person said, so to begin with, she seems quite sensible. Then it begins, well, in the beginning, she wasn't sensible. She was pretending to be innocent. That's what she was doing. Like, why me? I didn't do nothing. Why am I being pulled over? She was trying to deflect and think she was going to get out of that situation. That's what it was. But this lady, Nika Holbert, yeah, she was nothing but, a criminal. So they said, why was she out of the car? It's like he let her do what she wanted to do. Always somebody else's fault. So yeah, every little thing they want to blame somebody else. Like when you become an adult, right? You need to accept responsibility for your actions. If you do something wrong, you have to be like, that's on me. I made a mistake. That's what we do as adults. Let's check out some more comments. So right now I'm on Facebook and it's Black Lives Matter Nashville. So this incident happened in Nashville, Tennessee. And the Black Lives Matter is saying that obviously they're backing Nika, even though she was wrong every step of the way. And they're saying that what happened to her was wrong. And then they're saying, like, I said what I said and all that. So let me read this. It says, a full display, this is from the Black Lives Matter, right? The order. It says, it's full display of how many are still committed to the idea that the institution of police should exist. So they believe that there shouldn't be any police. So I don't know how we're going to have a world without police when there's so many criminals running around. Criminals and rapists and just bad people. If we didn't have police, when something goes wrong, who would they call? And the people that write this kind of stuff, right? When they have an incident, who do you think they're calling? They're calling the cops. First thing, they're calling the cops. But yet they go online and they write, well, we don't need the police. Yeah, you do need the police. Another thing, the state has a right to murder who they want. This is just nonsense. There's such a thing as a perfect victim. Well, some people who are victims are definitely not perfect. I totally agree with that. But this lady definitely wasn't a victim. Nika Holbert was not a victim. Okay? She was a thug. She was a criminal and shot a cop. So this Black Lives Matter stuff, I'm a black guy. And I think the slogan should have been not Black Lives Matter. It should have been Black Lives Matter too. That would have been the perfect slogan. Because I totally get that black people are marginalized in society. Our life is not worth as much as, a white person or Asian person. So I totally get that. And I've experienced it. I've seen it. I'm not imagining things. I've been alive over 40 years and I've seen many things. Okay. And if you just Google stuff, if you haven't experienced it in your life, just Google, you'll see a bunch of videos of stuff that happened to black people that shouldn't have happened. But the Black Lives Matter, because of that name, it gave opposition fire to say, well, all lives matter, other people's lives matter too. And they know what it means. They know Black Lives Matter mean black people are marginalized. Okay? But if the slogan was Black Lives Matter too, there would be no rebuttal for that. That would be the perfect slogan. But it is what it is. So they're saying white supremacy is white folks telling Black Lives Matter chapter what does and doesn't have to do with our movement. Well, no. There's a lot of black people like myself who don't believe everything that's put out by Black Lives Matter. It's like Al Sharpton. Every time something happens to black people, he shows up. And then when something else happens, he doesn't show up. So it's just like one-sided. Why can't people just see right from right and wrong from wrong? It doesn't matter the color of your skin. Every cop is not a racist. Every cop is not looking to kill a black person. Are there cops like that? Yeah, but they're in the minority, and we need to call them out when that happens. And it happened a couple of times already recently. So, the guy that put his knee on that guy's neck and killed him, yeah, really bad. That cop was and he got fired, and he got arrested, and he went to jail and all that. So yeah, that was good. When you have racist cops, you can't overcome that. If someone is racist, they hate you just because of the color of your skin, and they're a cop. That's a bad combination, because and that guy get a chance to kill a black person, he's going to do it. Obviously, that didn't happen in this situation. Okay, this cop, Josh Baker, he's excellent, amazing cop. Okay, but I'm just saying that there are situations where there are cops who are racist, and they will take every chance to kill a black person and try to justify it by being a cop, right? So, somebody else said, repeat after me, she shot at him first, end of conversation. Well, even if she didn't shoot at him first, once she shows the gun, once she pulls out a gun, the cops are justified in shooting you. I mean, you don't pull out a gun. I mean, that's just common sense, obvious. You don't pull out a gun to a cop unless you're looking to get killed. So somebody else said, you'll have us looking ridiculous with this. Nika was all wrong. She should have been alive, but it was her choices that ended her life. Let's be outraged when it's not justified. Yeah, you can't be outraged when it's not justified. She had weed, coke, and a firearm, which she used to open fire on the police officer who did his job appropriately. She said, "You're bugging. This is why we'll never be taken seriously, because even when they're wrong, y'all want to protest." Yes, this comment is amazing by Nikisha Henry. My comment that I put on Facebook is this: you can't be right and wrong at the same time. Nika was wrong. She should have just followed the orders of the officer, as he was just doing his job. He was also not wrong to stop the vehicle, search Nika, or arrest her. If she followed the officer's orders, she would have gotten her day in court and be alive today. I cannot support Nika just because she's black and I am black. I can only support people when they are right, no matter the color of their skin. And that was my comment. So, if you're a black person, don't just support someone just because they're black. I mean, look at the stupidness like Kanye West is doing right now. You can't support someone like that. You know, he's preaching hate just because he has the same color skin as you. That makes absolutely no sense. And if you're a white person, you can't support Donald Trump just because he's white. What he's saying is wrong. And he has been saying wrong things for a long time. And he has been, I think, 70 million people voted for Donald Trump after all the things he's said. You know, grab women's crotch and do what you want. And the man is just off the chain. You know, he's a grifter, and basically, in my opinion, he's a criminal and he's a racist. But so many people support him just because he's white. So you can't go through life just supporting something just because it just makes no sense. I have actually never supported someone just because they were the same color skin as I am. Never. If someone is wrong, I tell them, listen, you're wrong. I don't care. I'm not going to vote for someone just because we're both black. So I want to close this by saying that Officer Josh Baker, these are the type of officers that we should have throughout America. I hope he has a speedy recovery. I hope this incident doesn't stop him from being an officer. I hope he recovers 100% and it doesn't affect him not just physically but psychologically. And for people like Nika, change your life, be a better person. If you're a person like this, change your ways. We need better people in society from all races. Don't aspire to be a criminal. There's nothing good to come out of that. You either end up in jail or you end up dead. Go to school, get an education, do something with your life, get a job. Don't aspire to do the wrong things. Set examples for your kids, for your family. When you die, people should be saying you're an honorable person. That's it for this one. I will see y'all in the next one.